Hello, welcome to day out of letting it in. And so these 3 days have been all about the garden of our minds. My internet is unstable, so we'll just see how this goes. I might record it a bit later. So we're talking about the process of rewiring our brains, and like Rick Hanson talks about it and as the 3 processes of the garden of the mind. So if you're thinking about your mind like a garden, what you would do is you would go into your garden and you would first step back, observe, maybe be your mountain and kind of let it be. And then you would let go of weeds. You would get into your garden and let go of things that didn't really serve you anymore, like thoughts that are constantly going around your head, releasing muscular tension, stopping striving and pushing so much. So yeah, we discussed all of those things in the past 2 days. And now we're coming down to the growing of the flowers in the garden of our minds. So letting things in. And so basically our brains are hardwired to be VELCRO for the negative and TEFLON for the positive. So we hang on to all of our negative thoughts. We get fused with them. They go round and round and round in our brains. And when something positive happens, it's just like Teflon. We notice it and then it goes. And that's because of our ancestors, the way that that paper tiger paranoia, that if you didn't jump at a noise in the bush, it may be a tiger that eats you and you weren't going to survive. And so even though it was probably a mouse, needless jumping, the price was anxiety versus your life. So yeah, so that's how we got hardwired, and that part of our brain is called the default mode network, and we just wanted to activate and strengthen other networks in our brain. So that's why we do what Rick Hanson calls is taking in the good. And we need to practice this to rewire our brains. It's not something so that's why it's a MindFitness skill too, like physical fitness. We need to practice to form new neural pathways, like you would practice to strengthen a muscle. And he uses that acronym of HEAL, and we'll just go over the. Usually in your yoga classes, we only use the first 3 parts of the H, and the 4th part is optional. So it's about noticing. So noticing when you have a positive experience. So we bring that mindfulness, that mindful awareness to that noticing. And so you can notice having a positive experience, or you can actually generate a positive experience in your mind by using your imagination. And so, yeah, the positive experiences like that of awe. So maybe the feeling we might get when we watch the sunrise over the water, gratitude for living in such a beautiful country, being kind of like living the lives that we can live at the moment in New Zealand, feeling of the positive experience of when we are self-compassionate, when we're experiencing calm and ease. And so just noticing those things as we go about our day, but also maybe generating them as part of a meditation. So, for example, one of my favorite things to do is to do this, watching the sunrise. So you have that experience of awe and wonder. and then you enrich it with all of your senses. So while you're watching the sunrise, you're curious about what you can hear. Can you hear the sound of birdsong? If you're at the beach, do you hear the lapping of the waves? Anything that you can hear, the wind rustling in the trees. Can you actually taste something in your mouth? Can you smell anything as we like music, cut grass? And really looking at what you can see, like the play of light or dark, or shadows or colours, not just saying, oh, that's a nice sunrise, and then going back into your to-do list in your head about what you've got to get done for the rest of the day. And then maybe just having a feeling of what that felt sense of awe feels like in your body, that sensation, and where you're feeling it in your body and what the sensations are. So we talked about that a little bit yesterday, being curious about are the sensations expansive or moving or still. Being a little bit curious about, this is what awe feels like in my body. So you're kind of amplifying the experience, you're putting it on steroids. And then you stay in the moment, and neuroscience shows that it takes 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 breaths to bring that, to rewire it from a passing state of mind into a trait, so making neural connections in your brain. And so you stand there, you have that experience of awe, you're in the present moment within all your 5 senses, and then you take 3 to 5 breaths and you absorb it into every cell of your body, and kind of like that feeling of like water going into a sponge. As I said before, you're starting to hardwire and make new neural pathways in your brain. And this is an optional step. If you're aware of where you hold negative or maybe traumatic memories, then this can actually, by linking it, you can actually dissolve those negative memories and transform them. But it's an optional step. So practicing the first 3 steps to start with, that's what Rick Hanson says, is a good way to start. So, yeah. And then always going back to our purpose, our core values, what we started the stress reset with. Live your purpose one day at a time. Keep on connecting to your core values. Set your goals in line with that. And then connect in with these MindFitness skills that you are cultivating through letting it go, letting it be, and letting it in. And so the best way to reset and refocus is simply to take a pause. So if there is anything in the 3-day reset that you take away, is about the power of the pause, to stop, to take a pause. Thank you very much. We've got a gratitude meditation. That's the last part of the stress reset this afternoon or evening at 6:30. So we're going to start to introduce to you the concept of the MindFitness gym. So we concentrate on a new MindFitness skill, such as gratitude or calm or courage or awe, and how we can hardwire it into our brains. We do that through mindful yin yoga, but you don't have to do the yoga. You can also just do, listen to these talks and put some of these practices informal mindfulness practices into practice in your life and do meditation. So yin yoga as an optional. And yeah, I'll be introducing that to you at 6:30 to see if you're interested in further working or further doing some of the stuff that you've done on the 3-day stress reset. So it's really exciting, kind of my baby. A little bit nervous about presenting it to you guys, but it's all good. Okay, namaste. I don't think it's